it's time for the final round of Season 12 then. Zeph on pole from B, Dragon Sonic and Mini. Then it's Ender Dragon Danny, Akari and Valeria A. Ramirez. Then it's Daph Sanchez, MF1 World, Lawless Shaklerk and Daniel Bogdasarov. Marcus Nelson is 11th, then it's Ravo and Catfish. Zygmunt is 14th with Kate Horry 15th. David Camino is 16th with K Mordicis alongside. Then it's Inokui, Batuko, Leo, Alan Lee, and Salos Kynes. It's the final round of Season 12 then. We're in London, where it always has ended, as all 5 lights go on for the final time in Season 12. We go green in London. What a start from Zeph, the hometown driver. Covers off B Dragon Sonic, who's starting on the hards for what seems to be the only time in the season. He doesn't really like those tires. Mini already ahead, and you can see why the hards aren't a great starting tire, as spinning is Daph Sanchez, the man who just won in the race that gave Hyperdrive Mercedes EQ the World Constructors title. And Daph Sanchez, he's struggling to get out of there. Can he get out? No, he's out. Out of the race goes Daph Sanchez. And my goodness me, that is Salos Kynes. Everyone trying to get out of here. And we've lost David Camino and Zygmunt as well. And just trying to get out of this steaming roadblock ahead. Leo's out and Inokui's out. Mordicis and Salos Kynes have only just gotten out there with Batuko and Alan Lee. They're going to be out the back for what seems to be a vast majority of this race. But out in front, the pole sitter Zeph still leads the way, half a second ahead of Mini. Now, I think this is the best place to officially announce it in a video as the virtual safety car ends, going down into Stowe Corner. This is once again going to be the major championship on the channel, as Zeph still leading the way as we go back under full racing speed again. Coming down into part of the track that has taken out many a driver before. And safe goes everyone. I think they must have pushed the walls back. We're going to try and push the walls back next time we come to London, because the proximity to the track that these walls are is not safe at all. But it seems to be pushed further back this season, which is good. Ender Dragon Danny has gotten past B Dragon Sonic, the World Drivers Champion in Season 12, down to 4th. But what a season he drove, though. What a season he has driven. In the first half, it didn't look like he would be a championship contender at all. Then, 2 second places in a row that put him into championship contention. And then 2 consecutive race wins that basically gave him the title. This has been B Dragon Sonic's, and I'm going to say this wholeheartedly, I believe this to be B Dragon Sonic's absolute worst season in his career. But a driver of his caliber, when you have a bad season, it's still a good one. As Mini takes the lead from Zeph. Akari goes up into 4th behind them. Oh, so close to the wall. Literal inches, I'd be guessing, is the gap between the wall and the cars here. As we go on board with the McLaren of K. Horry, almost snags the wall there. Batuko again, also almost snagging it. But everyone's still making it through cleanly. Mini on the charge, in the lead currently. The top 6 separated by 2 seconds. Everyone with DRS. Salos Kynes for the fastest lap of the Prix, as into 5th place goes Lawless Shaklerk on B Dragon Sonic, whose hard tires aren't really switching on. He's just about able to hustle himself back up into 5th, but I don't think he's going to be there for too long, as the App Cooper car going side by side into Cop's Corner takes 5th place from the number 44 car. I think he's just lucky to still be in the race, considering the absolute chaos that happened to his teammate. Zeph, however, leads the way quite convincingly, almost 2 seconds between him and Mini. Ender Dragon Danny coming under fire from Ari, as he tries to overtake Mini, almost hits the wall there. They go side by side, coming through to the Vale chicane as into the pits comes Mini and Akari. I feel like Akari had more laps to go on. MF1 World with a 5-second time penalty. Many drivers coming into the pits, believe it or not. Oh, very wide from Silas kind of spinning. He's been sent into the wall there as Alan Lee. He's got a missing front wing element, but he does not pit. I think he's been told over the radio not to pit because of the fact that, well, if he was to pit, they wouldn't be ready for him. The sky now darkening over London, as it usually does. Don't think it's for smoke this time, though. As here is MF1 World for Bugatti, the number 19 car. And he's still trying to close in quite a bit. He's gaining a bit of time on the hyperdrive car ahead of him. Not enough time to be in striking distance. He does have DRS, however. Marcus Nelson, currently 5th, 14 seconds off the lead, heading the pack that it still needs to make a pit stop. That's not actually right, is it? Because the top 4 still yet to pit. They do pit now. It's very dark. The rain is falling in London. And the top 4 have just pulled off the strategic masterclass. Top 6. Top 8, I should say. Because all of those guys are now making their first pit stop on lap 5. And it's for wet tyres. B Dragon Sonic has benefited from this immensely because Bugatti had to double stack. So MF1 World is going to lose out on a podium position. And B Dragon Sonic, his hyperdrive crew, got a very lightning quick pit stop there to get him out in 3rd place. And that is Revolution Racing messing up another pit stop because they have to let so many drivers through, considering where they're placed. Benitez is now 14th and Revo down in 17th. It's going to be a very iffy race from here on out, considering what all the drivers are going to do. And the Dragon Danny then still in 2nd place for the Bugatti team. This has been quite the interesting race already, and we're not even at half race distance. He might start to come under fire from the Nigerian behind him. As for right now, however, it's all very calm. Does seem to be lightening up just a little bit, but that could just be because of the floodlights we have installed around this circuit. The driver's getting very close and personal with the wall, but not close enough as to where it becomes a problem. It's a very worrying thing that we're gonna have to change for next season, obviously, but as long as there are no major crashes due to the wall, yeah. I think Das Sanchez alone just took out half the grid, so. And here is B Dragon Sonic. He's gained quite a lot of time on the Dominican Republic's Ender Dragon Danny. This is for 2nd place at half race distance. That hyperdrive Mercedes EQ car, the factory Mercedes car, trying to get past Ender Dragon Danny and catch up to the customer car in the Bourne. And he's not quite close enough to make it pounce. He's 8/10 off the back of Ender Dragon Danny. This was under dry conditions. He would have DRS. But since we're in the wet, DRS just not a factor. 7 of 13 men. The only actual battle taking place on track is Ender Dragon Danny and B Dragon Sonic. The gap now 6/10 of a second. We were on board with B Dragon Sonic there. And B Dragon Sonic still trying to gain. It's 5/10 now. He's got Slipstream. It's probably going to take another lap for him to be able to get past. Salos Kynes now on the back of Mini. The man who got himself up into third place, then second, and then momentarily the lead. Had to pit early, and he's going to have to drop down now, almost into 10th place. Kynes being a little bit conservative when it came to that position. And he's still gaining ever more, and he's still not quite able to make the overtake. He's got the wider line coming in through Cop's corner. As we see on the minimap, B-Dragon Sonic, he's lifted away from Ender Dragon Danny, likely due to Maggots and Beckett's. The dirty air that comes off of the cars coming through this fast section of turns definitely harms an overtaking opportunity. Coming into a turn like the club, as we go through club with Batuco. Oh my goodness me, that was very close to the wall. Everyone almost touching the wall. The only driver to have actually touched that wall though in this race is Alan Lee, and he got to pit under the wet conditions, so he didn't lose out too much. Mind you, he was 16th. He is still 16th, so. And Salos Kynes switching lines with the Jaguar ahead of him. And they go side by side, coming into the loop. And that is 9th place for the Spanish driver. Next on his list is Akari, the Philippine driver, in the number 40 for Envision Racing. That Envision car has not been anything special this season. In season 13, hopefully there will be more to do with that car, with a new calendar and new rules and regulations into the cars, but still equal cars going into season 13 as the FDMC returns to being the main championship. 4 laps to go here in London. And Ender Dragon Danny coming through the first sector usually doesn't really get too much of a good run. That Bugatti is really strong in the second sector. They're evenly matched in the third. But in the first sector, B-Dragon Sonic is able to gain on him. It's just a question of can he keep that momentum going. And the story of that race between those two cars has been, no, we are not able to close in on EDD ahead. Akari under threat from Salos Kynes. Mini absolutely nowhere compared to the Porsche ahead of him. Salos Kynes is and has always been throughout the season a man on a mission. He's been the man with the mission for most of the season, and he's just not close enough. He's just nowhere near close enough, if you ask me, to actually make the pass. As we come through Maggots and Beckett's, and we've got yellows as Zeph, the race leader, hits the wall. Has he got damage? Does that Brawn car have damage? He does not have damage, but he's lost the lead to Ender Dragon Danny with 3 laps to go. Ender Dragon Danny could see his first race win since season 3. A 9-season wait for another race win in this championship. Yes, he did win the Chinese Grand Prix in Formula 1, but that's been dissolved now. We've committed to electric. As Ender Dragon Danny now 2 tenths ahead of Zeph ahead of him. And B-Dragon Sonic, he's not close enough to make a move, but I don't think he wants to be close enough to make a move, considering what these two can be fighting for. Zeph pulls to the inside, coming through Maggots and Beckett's, the fastest few turns on the calendar. And he's dropped off a second to Ender Dragon Danny ahead. B-Dragon Sonic looks to try and take second place here from Zeph. Looks for the position, and coming through Stowe turn, and not quite close enough still. They might go side by side through club corner. Oh, and Zeph went very wide there. That forced B-Dragon Sonic to the grass. And with 2 to go then, It is Ender Dragon Danny who leads the way from Zeph and B Dragon Sonic. Then it's MF1 World with that 5-second time penalty. Marcus Nelson and Catfish. Then it's Patuko, Silas Kynes, Akari, Mini, Daniel Bogdasarov, Lawless Chaklerk, Valerio Ramirez, Medicis, Hori, Alan Lee, and Ravo. That is the 17 drivers still in the race as B Dragon Sonic gets past Zeph, who has a puncture. Oh my goodness me! And that is a rear right puncture for Zeph that has taken him out of race winning contention. MF1 World takes third place. It's Marcus Nelson goes up into fourth. That should be third at the flag. As Silas Kynes gets himself up into seventh. Oh, and Kynes out of the race. Virtual safety car called. As up ahead, that is Silas Kynes' car. Akari slams into the wall. Oh, dearie me. And Silas Kynes. That is 2 races on the bounce that he has not finished. Last time out, it cost him the championship. This time out, it's cost him a shot at a higher position. As Zeph with that puncture, he's going to have to limp home now. As onto the penultimate lap we go. Ender Dragon Danny still leading the way from B Dragon Sonic and MF1 World. And Zeph is almost out of this race, I think. Akari missing his front wing, so he's going to have to pit soon at the end of this lap. As Mini, Daniel Bogdasarov closing in on them. Oh, this is not safe. Oh, and that is Mini spinning. Daniel Bogdasarov went wide. Akari has pitted. And Zeph will just about make it into the pit lane. Into the pits comes Zeph alongside the McLaren, and that is Catfish and Alan Lee also in. Oh, and a puncture for Catfish too. Catfish also with a puncture, it seemed. Maybe it was a full puncture because his tires didn't go the distance. But this might be a full lap under VSC. I think it is a full lap under VSC, actually. For many of these drivers. We go back racing again. That virtual safety car was not enough for MF1 World to actually keep his position currently. My oh my, this race really has been getting a little bit better. And spinning! Spinning is Ender Dragon Danny! That is the second time we've had a race leader have a problem. And that means B Dragon Sonic to the lead of the London Prix on the final lap. MF1 World second, Ender Dragon Danny drops down to what seems to be fourth if Marcus Nelson can get past him. Here's Marcus Nelson, the season 9 champion, tries to take the outside line, not quite close enough. Can he try and find another place to go by? As Daniel Bogdasarov has spun. No, that's Mini who has spun, sorry. Oh, and that Jag was missing his front wing. Akari with another track limits warning. And that's just trying to evade Mini there. And there seems to be there might be a problem with the motor on Zach's car now. But I think he will be able to make it to the flag as Marcus Nelson. He's edging closer to Ender Dragon Danny here. So close to the back of that car. But I don't think he's going to be able to take the position. This is the last place where he could make a mistake. Does he? Into the wall! Goes B Dragon Sonic! MF1 World takes the lead. It will not be the lead of the flag. MF1 World takes the flag. But B Dragon Sonic, the championship winner, wins the London Prix in 12. Ender Dragon Danny second. And MF1 World, who took the flag, will be third. Batuko fourth. Marcus Nelson fifth after spinning there. Daniel Bogdasarov is out of the race at that chicane again. This chicane has taken out so many drivers is in this race, and when I say so many, I mean 2 compared to last season, and it's all because there's not actually too much space there to actually do anything of note. VSC ending as Zeph and Alan Lee make it to that part of the track. And this is your podium then to end off season 12. B Dragon Sonic, right at the line now on lap 12, wins the London E3 from Ender Dragon Danny and MF1 World. Then it's Batuco, Marcus Nelson, Lawless Leclerc, who was leading at one point, I believe, Valeria Ramirez, and Ravo. Then it's Medicis, Akari, K-Hori, Mini, Zeph, and Alan Lee. Your finishers. Your non-finishers were Daniel Bogdasarov, Catfish, Solos Collins, and the lap 1 retirements were Daph Sanchez, Sigmund, and Inoki, Leo, and David Camino. For the final driver's standings, I'll read these out with the points. B Dragon Sonic is your World Drivers' Champion on 156 points. Then tied for second is the Lawless Leclerc on 94 and Daph Sanchez alongside. Solos Kind is fourth on 87 points. Then it's Marcus Nelson on 74. Batuco comes home with a 71.6 place. Then it's David Camino in 7th, 1 point ahead of his own teammate Zeph. And it's Sigmund in 9th, with Ender Dragon Danny 10th, Medicis 11th, Alan Lee 12th, Valeria Ramirez 13th, MF1 World 14th, Catfish 15th, Ravo 16th, K-Hori 17th, Mini 18th, Akari 19th, Daniel Bogdasarov 20th, taking only 1 point paying finish, and that was in Marina Bay. Inoki 21st and Leo 22nd. In the Constructors standings, your Season 12 Constructors champions are Hyperdrive Mercedes EQ from Porsche and at Cupra. And it's Braun in the Formula E team and Jaguar Racing. Then it's Bugatti, Revolution Maserati, and Andretti Autosport. Then it's McLaren Neon, Apex GP, and Envision Racing. I hope you enjoyed this return to the Formula E Monopoly Championship in Season 12. For Season 13, we've got a few more surprises and another championship up for grabs. I hope you'll join us then for Season 13 when the Formula E Monopoly Championship returns.